Everybody, it's Kendrick from Providence Tarot. I just wanted to remind you guys that our Midsummer Flash Sale is ending tomorrow on August 18th. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I actually decided to do this at like 11:11. I looked at the clock and it said 11:11, so I was like, oh, let me go ahead and post a weekend reading for them. So yeah, the flash sale is ending tomorrow. Email providencetarot@gmail.com to book 15 minutes for $20. It's 15 minutes for $20. And we'll get back to you. So this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And I was just thinking about that because, 17 is the star card in the tarot. 18 is the moon, which is at the bottom of the deck right now. It just so happened to be. And 19 is the sun. And we are in Leo season right now. So I decided to pull some cards. Let's see what the energy is. We'll do like a mini ascendant and abbreviated. So it's kind of like the pyramid spread that we're known for. And yeah, it has past, present, and future. And then it has, the advice moving forward or the outcome for those of you who like outcomes. Hi! Aries. Oh, I love my Aries because I'm a Libra sun and Libra rising. Yes, love some Aries. Wow, the Fool came up twice at the front and you just did all that talking about Aries. Right. The Fool is really talking about new beginnings and having faith that you don't really need anything to prove who you are and what you're capable of, because you were given your gifts and your talents and your will, Aries, by God, right? So we all know what we can do. Yes, Virgo. Both my sisters are Virgos. And one of them has a Taurus moon. And one has an Aries moon. Oh, you like Libras? Good, we like you too. Okay, so this card also wanted to pop up. This is the card of Virgo, right? I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. So that's the ascendant. That's basically how people are seeing you in regards to whatever situation that you're in. It's kind of a finishing up kind of energy, you know what I mean? The Hermit is Virgo, and it's talking about listening to that part of you that knows what needs to be done in order to see progress within a process that you have initiated because you know you need to. Analyzing yourself, critiquing yourself, assessing yourself and your situation and your circumstances, and sort of seeing if you caused any of the problems or any of the mishaps or any of the whatever, what part do you play in something that turned out that you could then assess it. It's like if you were in a relationship, those of you out there who went in a relationship and maybe recently broke up with someone, you guys aren't seeing each other right now. Maybe you're wondering like what it was that you may have done in the relationship to cause it to sort of like experience this dissension, or the other person, you know what I mean? You might also be, message retracted. You might also be the person who is just wondering why someone may have ended something with you, or why someone made a decision or a choice, right? 9 is really talking about letting go of worries. I feel like the 9s are like that. The 9 of Swords is like that. The 9 of Pentacles is like that because you're showing an appreciation for something, that you've built, right? So it's a process that is you, that you've manifested, that exemplifies who you are and what you do. Well, do you use Vedic? I'm Gemini Moon in Vedic, but Cancer in Western. I normally go off of Western, and I know that Vedic will be something that I move towards in the future, but I definitely have Mars and Mercury in Virgo, so I like to do things from like a foundation, very fundamental, and then once I have it like that, then I can go crazy and do stuff. That's just the way that I think. Virgo sun, though. Yeah. So, yeah, it's about making assessments. I met with one of my artistic directors today, and he is a Virgo. So you might actually be seeking advice from someone that could even be like a mentor for some of you. And, they're helping you assess a situation that you might be in and seeing, why you might do some of the things that you do, or why you might go through some of the same processes over and over again. Because, the Virgo energy is really, they are always about going through a process of something, trying to see why something, hi Aquarius, trying to see why something works and why something doesn't work. They really just want the best for everybody, and they are their biggest critic too. You know what I mean? It's like, if you can see ways to improve other people, you definitely see ways to improve yourself, because it's like, that you can't achieve that perfection within yourself. So you try to seek it out in other people. So you express yourself by way of making things better. It's being of service. So true. Yeah, that's how Virgo is. So now let me go ahead and shuffle the cards one more time, and then I'm going to cut it 3 times, and then I'm gonna pull some cards, okay? So while I was talking to you guys, I was shuffling. Sometimes that gets me into the energy of, what's going on or the room. Okay, another card just sort of jumped on its own, and that is the 7 of Wands. This is Mars in Leo? Yes? Let me think, you guys. Sorry. Yeah, this is Mars in Leo, I believe. And this is talking about, having the will to meet opposition and do it confidently. It is talking about seeing the beauty within your own struggle, yes, and how you meet your struggle and how you meet your opposition. What are the choices that you are making as far as like your actions? What were your actions in a situation that may have been conflicting, but you could see why you were in that situation still, and you could see, how you could possibly get out of it, or you might just be looking at, a situation that you were in that you felt like you had to fight through, and it might be over now. And now you're trying to just kind of like, maybe you're going over it in your head a lot, and it's like, this type of thing isn't really going to help you. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you go over a situation that was like a negative experience for you and it's over, it's almost like, why are you reliving it for yourself? You know what I mean? Maybe the 6 of Cups will come up. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it jumped out, so I'm just going to keep shuffling. So it's like, sometimes when you were just so stuck on an emotion that you might have in terms of how you might have been offended or mistreated, then it just kind of like builds it back up inside of you. So it's coming back to you. Okay, so I'm attempting to stay humble, pursue. It is really so wrong. Sorry, they come up and then they go away like really fast, you guys. Actually, let me put my charger on, because it gave me like, the warning. It prompted me. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to cut the deck, like I said. Okay. And I said that I wanted to do it a second time because, I was just rambling and the death card was at the bottom. And I was like, you know what? Let me just shuffle it again. Okay, so it's meant to come out. So you guys are feeling a transformation that took place, right? She's an Aquarius, but in love with another Libra. My kid's father is a Libra too, but I don't want him. Well, if you don't want him, you don't have to have him. Okay, for real. So this is the death card, and it looks a little bit dark and scary, but this is actually one of my favorite cards. I actually have Pluto in my first house. This is one of new beginnings. This is a scythe right here. So this is, this is talking about just stepping away and allowing a situation that was meant to be chopped get slayed. Okay? If you felt like you were fighting through something that was really your opposition, are you fighting for yourself, or are you fighting for, yep, letting it unfold, or are you fighting for something that actually doesn't really want to support you or encourage you or make you feel worthy of not having to be, not the enemy, but, vigilant towards, these people that you may have trusted. The sevens have to do with a little bit of impatience. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. The sevens have to do with impatience, right? So you kind of get a little bit annoyed that you're still having to do this, that you're still having to try to convince people that you have what it takes. Sometimes people will be critical of something that you are good at that they aren't, just because they don't understand. If you wanted to make paper maches for your entire life and you were amazing at it, some people probably would be like, well, are you serious? You're going to make paper mache? You're just like, yeah, I make really amazing ones. People are going to critique things that they don't understand, always. And people are going to want to, control or prevent or get in the way of things that they don't understand, especially if it was meant for you and not them, right? When some things are meant for you and not other people who haven't found what was meant for them don't know how to respond or react to you having something presented to you that's a gift because it was meant for you. They just can't, some people are like that because of their own scorn. It's like sometimes people wish that they could have some of the opportunities that you have, or maybe they wish that they would have had like the same upbringing. We don't have any sixes or anything here, but Scorpio does rule children too. Uh, so there's always this scorn from childhood, right? Because we're always trying to be protected, or we're always being protected by the older people in our lives because they know that if we experience something that's going to get to us in a very deep and misinterpreted way, right? We don't really have the maturity of perception yet. But when we're kids, our perceptions of things are very raw. We just don't understand all of the different variables that go into adult situations. But we do really feel what is going on around us. It's the atmosphere, right? And kids are like sponges. We all are. And whatever place this that you were in here, because you are identifying with this feeling of having to fight back all the time. Yeah, that's over now. And if you're going back over that in your head, then you need to do yourself a favor and focus on things that are, when you go in and you find that you're assessing this over and over again, you're going to have a need to pull yourself together. Loved a Scorpio for the longest. I stayed humble. We both have childhood stuff. Empath versus his ways. A bit narcissistic. Yeah, because it's Mars. Mars can be very narcissistic. It's like the guy with, all the goods. And he's probably attractive. Scorpios are very alluring. They're very attractive. I've known a lot of Scorpios. My business partner Dale, also my best friend, and you guys is, other spiritual advisor. He has Mars and Saturn in Scorpio. I have Pluto in my first house, and I have Saturn in Scorpio. I dated someone that had a Scorpio moon, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. But I know some people with Scorpio moons, and I love them so much. So you never know. It really is just a person. But he had double Mars placements. So, very selfish. Not to say that you guys are selfish out there who are ruled by Mars. Um, I don't know his moon. Okay, find out what his moon is. Because the moon, when you're dating someone, you really get their moon. You get their moon. I have a Cancer moon, so I have a need to nurture and empathize and relate to people's emotions, and double Libra here. So it's kind of like I get into a little bit of trouble because know his birthday but not time of birth. Okay, yeah. Well, if you know his birthday, then you could just put in like 12 o'clock noon. And, if it's like just past the line of being, from one sign to the other, then you need to get the time. But if it's really in a sign, then you know that they have that moon. You know what I mean? Sagittarius here. I have Jupiter conjunct Uranus, Neptune, and my South Node is in Sag. Get out of my way. I know what you're saying. Oh, actually, look. A Sagittarius card, Temperance. So this is talking about going to that place of divinity that we all have experienced, even, yes, I'm just going to say that. I won't go any deeper than that. This is allowing yourself to really be humbled by the fact that you will have those moments of thinking and believing that maybe something that you played a role in was not quite right or well done. Are people more related to their moon sign or sun sign? Just wondering. Well, your moon sign is what's hidden about you that other people don't know, that they will figure out once they get closer to you, basically. And it's how you respond to things emotionally. I'm a Cancer moon at 29 degrees, so things make me cry. I don't cry unless I'm actually feeling something, but I can feel something very easily. I don't even really like watching the news because it like drives me crazy. But if you live with a Gemini moon, you're probably going to be watching the TV a lot. I mean, not watching the TV a lot, but, watching the news. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. Temperance is talking about going to that spiritual place to be able to deal with all of the shit that you have to deal with, basically, right? It's your come to Jesus. Jesus take the wheel. That is what this card is talking about. It's saying that you need to be able to take all of those elements, good and bad, appreciate the good stuff, appreciate the bad stuff, because it really did teach you what you did not want, what you could not stand, and what you would not have. Okay? And you know that. And once you know that, you'll be able to apply those lessons that you learn from Spirit and God and your family, because you have ethics and you have morals that you've been taught, and ones that have been self-learned by experiencing other people. Sagittarius, right? So you can really come to a place of resolution within yourself, because it really isn't about anyone else to resolve anything for you. You can be the resolution. Okay, now let's go into your past. The past, right? You might have been feeling guilty about something, and it may have not even been your fault. You may have felt guilty about a situation because you allowed yourself to sort of be hurt. Okay, because the sun, I'm a sun, Scorpio, moon, Sagittarius. Okay, that's a progressive, those are progressive placements to go from Scorpio to Sagittarius, you know what I mean? But this is Jupiter in Gemini, and it's expanding that sense of I need to think about all the things all the time. I am thinking about all the things all the time. This could be a card of feeling guilty about something, and it's not really meant for you to do that. It's like, unlock the door so that you can get out of the room that is suffocating you, right? Don't even unlock the door. The door's already open, darling. grab the knob and swing the door open. Get out of there. There's no need to be suffocating your brain, asphyxiating your mind with all of your thoughts. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's like when people see like a bunch of maggots and they're like, yeah, my God, I know. That's like your thoughts and how they're like going through your head and making you feel like this. You need to have the courage to be more confident that you don't always have to be the person that's kind, gentle, and nice. You know what I mean? As far as like how you approach or how you deal with something, it means what sign is this for? This is a general reading. It's for the weekend, and it's the 17th through the 19th. So I just titled it, Star, Moon, and Sun. Anyway, yes, you need to stop blaming yourself for a situation that wasn't your fault. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't get to choose how a person behaves, and you don't get to really choose how a person treats you. That's their decision. You can tell someone what not to do and how you want to be treated, and you can treat them well so that they might treat you well. But that's something that Libra has to learn too. Just because you treat somebody well does not mean that they're going to treat you well too. So in your present, King of Pentacles. So, maybe you guys were dealing with someone that might have been able to use their power over you. Or maybe you feel like you're stepping into your power now that you are no longer a part of that person's life or a part of that situation. Yeah, all signs. We can go a little bit in depth maybe next time, and I'll do like a different one for like all the water signs, all the earth signs. You know what I mean? I'll do it that way, so it gets a little bit more specific because this is very broadened. I'm an Aries Sun, Scorpio Moon, Rising Mars, Scorpio Moon and Rising Mars and Neptune. Okay, all of that is a Scorpio for you? Wow. Okay, that's very super. That's like a super Scorpio. But this is the card of Taurus, right? And right now, Uranus is in Taurus, and Uranus is asking us to do things in a different way. It's asking us to find ourselves not procrastinating and actually materializing those things in our lives that we know we need for ourselves, right? You've come to a realization. It's so funny. What you need, Taurus, well, I have. We all have our needs, right? And if you feel like your needs aren't being met, then you're going to have to re-strategize. Mars, retrograde in Aquarius, Mercury, retrograde in Leo. You're going to have to step out of your ego and talk to yourself. Ooh, Venus and Taurus, you probably like to shop. And talk to yourself about those things that are really good about you, that you don't want to change because they've always worked for you, right? And ways of thinking and ways of getting things done and affording things for yourself, friends, people, resources, jobs, money, all of those things. Hey girl, hey. So, this is a card of really taking the responsibility to show up for yourself. Because if you show up for yourself, then you don't have to worry about showing up for anyone else. Unless you love them and you want to show up. Okay, so now let's look at your immediate influence on top of that. Oh yes, you better have that burrito. Okay, now. This is some mess right here, the devil card. So the immediate influence is talking about, yes, fill up your own cup, darling, yes. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of like Ace of Cups energy or like Page of Cups. So this is the devil card, and this is Capricorn. This is talking about unnecessary maybe even unwanted codependencies, right? Sometimes we attach ourselves to things, and within attaching ourselves to things, we realize that it's not something that we want anymore, but we stay in it. It's almost like a Stockholm syndrome, right? And this card is also talking about, you know, addictions, codependencies. There could be a codependent relationship that you're in. You might be codependent on, a substance or drug. You could be eating a lot. Some of you might be eating. You might be stress eating because you feel tied to a situation that you feel like you're imprisoned by, right? Taurus does like to eat, especially when there's something going down and they need to be comforted. This card is number 15, and it is the first stage of spiritual enlightenment. So you guys are experiencing a stage where you are stepping into your power. You are really assessing all of the things that you've been through, all of the struggles, why you've gone through those struggles, how you've gone through those struggles, how you've come out of those struggles, who's left over after the war. And then you're beginning to appreciate all of those things because it's allowing you to see yourself becoming more, enriched with experiences, because these are not experiences that people can teach you. It's really, you have to go through it and like learn it yourself. And you guys might be feeling a little bit mistreated by Saturn, who rules Capricorn. Saturn is retrograde right now, in Capricorn with Pluto. So these are big, big karmic transformations about how you and other people see you in the world and your value and how you value yourself, because a lot of times we value ourselves based on how other people see us, which is unfortunate. I didn't know I had to meet that guy's standards. I don't even know him. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Kind of sucks. So now let's look at your outcome card and the card that is going to be your energy moving forward. I just talked about the pages. Here we go. So the Page of Pentacles is a change card. There's a change in Saturn is in my first house. The change that is occurring is that you're looking at what you can appreciate. You're looking at what you can start to create in your own life. Things that you can hold on to for a long time, right? You're going into a newly charted territory, as far as like the next phase in your life, and you're ready to learn a bit more about what it is to be, your own rock. Yeah, this is a double earth card, so this is a card of, procuring and manifesting, building. You're getting skillful at something and you're affording yourself something. This could be, a new job. This could be you realizing that you really have a skill, a trade. You have a talent that can actually make money and pull things in, right? Some of you actually might be going back to school. It is back to school season, and you might just be realizing that you can't keep going through those shenanigans that you were doing over the summer, acting crazy and stuff like that. This is also a card of really being proud of the things that you've learned, because now you can really apply them and you can start seeing things grow and you can start seeing things accumulate. It might be a little bit uncomfortable for some of us right now because Mercury is still in retrograde, but it goes direct on, today, right? Oh no, tomorrow. Whenever the 18th is. Tomorrow, right? The last day of the flash sale. Yes, you guys. So just go ahead and keep doing you. I feel like you are realizing that you don't need to pretend to want to be someone else or want to do some other stuff that other people may have had in mind for you. And you've been fighting against opposition for a while. You've had to really go to a place of solitude to kind of deal with all of the heavy things that have been going on right now with all of these planets in retrograde. Jupiter is direct in Scorpio, so we're seeing a lot of things being uncovered on the news. Just a lot of venomous activity, too, by people that we feel like we should have been able to trust on a larger level. Yeah, prayer and meditation. Today is the day of Aquarius, and it's the star card. So it really is saying that we need to rebalance our chakras and we need to rebalance our sense of calm and what that means for us because we all need some quiet time. Stop driving yourself crazy. My dog just walked in. She wants to know what's going on. Yes, let's get moving forward, you guys. Have a good weekend, and we'll probably do some more sign videos soon. Sorry, we've been very busy, and Mercury retrograde has been kicking our ass. Yep, get connected to the highest power so you can find some answers for yourself that other people won't answer for you. You have to come to that yourself. Mashallah. Yes. All right, you guys. Have a good weekend.